comment on this, election integrity, and on some other important points, let's welcome Fernando Ojesto to the show. Fernando is an international elections consultant and professor of law at the Universidad Nacional Autónoma de Mexico, la UNAM. Thank you so much for joining us, Fernando.
Hey,
Fernando,
Dan, how
my
are
first
you?
question is, I'm good, but my first question for you is, do you think this election will be fair?
Well, speaking about the operation and the vote counting, I can assure you that it's going to be fair. You know, we have a healthy electoral system, we have strong authorities, and the thing is that the people that counts the votes are our neighbors. We are the citizens, we are the people that are going to count the votes. So in that sense, for the results, the winner is going to be the one who wins the votes, and it's going to be fair. But the other thing is that the campaigns are not fair. And you are saying, you already told something about that, about the tarjeta rosa, about the intromission of Andrés Manuel López Obrador in the election. And the thing is that the politicians are not committed with democracy and law, and that can be an unfair election. Not the campaigns that are unfair right now.
Right, I understand. So it's yeah. I'm sorry. There's those technical difficulties with your lips matching your voice, but I'm sure that'll be fixed. But let's talk more about this, because I mentioned these tarjetas rosas. Are they just doing anything they can to try to win? Just, you know, like no matter what, to figure it out. And we were talking about this before the show, that a lot of people will decide their vote actually who can pay the most to the candidate. Is that true in this election?
Well, we have a problem in our democracy that it's vote buying. And these tarjetas rosas are supposedly buying votes. We don't know. But the thing is that the law enforcement institutions are going to investigate. La Fiscalía is going to investigate if it's vote buying or not. But the thing is that political parties, candidates, and even the public officers, including the president, are always trying to get around the rules of democracy. No, it's a game, democracy, and we need to respect the rules. So we saw the thing with Salgado Macedonio that didn't want to report their campaign expenses. We saw also the thing that the president in every mañanera is intruding in the electoral process in favor or against the candidate. And so I think that this is not healthy for any democracy. Also, the thing that you were saying about violence, that's a huge problem in our democracy and in our country, that the candidates are suffering violence, and that will probably be a terrible result for the election date, the 6th of June, that we hope that we have a lot of participation, but with violence, probably it's going to lower that citizen participation.
Yeah, let's hope not. And let's talk about participation. As you know, in the 2020 U.S. election, there was a huge drive for it was a record voter turnout because you had such a polarizing president on the ballot. The president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, is not on the ballot this time. But what do you expect, and how does it work? I mean, is there high participation here in Mexico?
Okay, we're in midterms, right? So midterms are always not there's not always a big participation. Like, for example, we need to compare it with the 2015 election, that there was 47% of participation, a lot of abstention, more than half of abstention. So anything above the 47% will be a success. If not, it's gonna be it's not gonna be a very good participation. In 2018, we have 62%, but that was because it was a president election. So right now, let's hope that because it's so important, we need to know that all of these campaigns, rules, institutions, everything is built towards the citizens. So the principal actor of any democracy should be every citizen, and that's why we need to keep saying that the vote of every citizen will count and will be counted. So we need to get out and vote on the 6th of June, whenever, from any party, any candidate you want, but go out and vote.
Yeah, absolutely. And on last week's show, I was saying that, you know, a lot of young people were posting on their redes sociales about, you know, the metro accident, and it wasn't an accident, it was negligence. But in a democracy, the voters have responsibility to make sure they're holding their elected officials accountable. And this is an accountability thing. And I hope those same people that are posting on that are going to go out to vote. But you have a lot of young people that you work with because you are a professor at the UNAM. And I love the UNAM because it is such I guess, a swath of all of Mexico, right? People from all walks of life go to the UNAM. What are your students saying to you right now? How are they feeling about this election coming up?
Okay, so yeah, I have first semester students, so they are gonna be first time voters. They are 18, 19 years old, so it's gonna be the first time they go out and vote. So they're excited about it. They are excited about democracy, they are excited about elections, but they are very disappointed about the campaigns. The campaigns in TikTok, in Instagram, and Facebook, they are the worst campaigns I've ever seen, and I think that they are thinking that too. They are probably also very disappointed about the way that some public officers are they are saying about this ghost or elections fraud ghost, and it's they don't like that the president and other politicians, they are violating the law. They are at the end, they are law students, so it's disappointing that every time they are studying something in our class, then the next day, they see that this law that we were
Talking about,
arguing, it was violating.
absolutely. And it's funny because when AMLO came to power, there was a lot of hope and promise from young people that more rights for gays, more rights for women, passing marijuana legislation, like things that young people are very care about. And it seems like that the administrator basically backtracked, right? That he has taken more of a conservative approach, and some people will say more a machismo approach to policy. Now we're coming up on the election. We had the metro disaster. Definitely, the COVID rollout is slower, even though there's an appearance that things have been getting a little bit better in the country, right? We're in a semáforo amarillo and verde in many places in the country. But I know people are really upset about how COVID went over the year. And it's showing that Moreno is losing ground. What is your prognostication? What is your forecast for this election?
Well, it's very difficult to say, but the polls are saying that Morena is losing the super majority, and that they are also losing some of the governor elections that they were already like cheering that they were gonna win. So it's gonna be a tight election, no, in Congress and also in the 15 states that they are celebrating elections for governors. And I think that we're gonna have a lot of problems in the electoral court. The electoral court is gonna solve all these problems, and we'll see how it happens. But the thing is that Morena was thinking that they were gonna win with a lot of difference, and with the metro thing, the COVID, and all of these scandals, probably they're gonna get majority, but not that super majority that they are expecting for.
Right, and people are saying that not getting the super majority might be safer for the country because the opposition could take checks and balances, and AMLO won't be able to make that dramatic transformation as he was planning to do, during this round. What are you thinking about the second AMLO term, or the second half of his one term, if he does not get the super majority?
So historically, the second term, the second round of the term of the president is always losing power, especially because the president is already had some problems, scandals, and he has not fulfilled all the needs of the people. So if they lose the supermajority, the 4T constitutional reforms, I think that they are not gonna be able to pass the Congress, and we're gonna have probably a more strong opposition. But also that's a big problem because the opposition is not as strong as it should be. So we'll see what happens. I think that that AMLO is waiting anxiously the 6th of June so that he can plan his next reforms for the next 3 years. because he probably the most important thing for him is that he gets in the history books as this leader that changed and revolutionized our country, and he only has 3 more years for that.
Okay. I got one more question for you, Fernando. This time around in the Clausura, they added, I think it was 6 teams to the playoffs. Cruz Azul #1, America #2, and only a few teams didn't make the playoffs. And Pumas, your team, did not do it. What the heck, man? What happened?
I don't want to talk about football, and right now I'm focused in elections, and that's why we didn't qualify to the Liguilla, because we are in the playoffs, because we are getting more attention for the elections and not for football.
Yeah, and maybe AMLO can talk to the owner or the coach of the Pumas team and see maybe they can have some common ground and feel better for each other. All right, Fernando Ojesto, international elections consultant and professor at the UNAM. Fernando, it's always a pleasure having you with you on the show. Come back again soon. We'll talk more elections coming up.
For sure, Dan, and we'll see how it goes on the 6th of June. And go out and vote. All the Mexican citizens need to go out and vote.
Absolutely. Definitely. Thank you so much.